Hello and welcome to Michael's Minty Music for today. Today we review Sting's debut solo album, The Dream of the Blue Turtles, released in 1985. It's decent, but I didn't really love it. This is the track listing, and these are the tracks I added to my playlist. 7 out of 10, so 70% here. This album's decent. I really just didn't love the style. The songs are high quality and mostly pretty good, but they all sound pretty similar. And the album as a whole kind of feels pretty one note, actually. Every song is sort of mid-speed pop tune. Some of them are actually really slow, but none really manage to speed the album up at all. Even though they're high quality, most of the songs here are not particularly interesting, or at least they weren't to me. Feels like this album could come out tomorrow and it be basically the same, which is sort of a testament to the quality, but also a testament to how boring it can be. Everything on it's fine, but nothing here is really good. There's a bit of an attempt at a flow, but due to the lack of really interesting tracks, it doesn't really go anywhere. The opening side starts quicker, gets slow, and then goes back into the mid-speed at the end with Shadows in the Rain. Side 2 generally slows down into the penultimate track, Moon Over Bourbon Street, and then Fortress Around Your Heart. It's probably the most upbeat song on the album, although it's still only really a medium speed pop tune. It's not actually quick. Side 2 is probably a bit better, mostly because I feel he leans more into the slower side, which is where he's actually more interesting at, instead of just sort of spitting out medium slow pop ballads, which all sound pretty much the same. Interestingly, Shadows in the Rain is originally a Police song, and while I mostly like the Police better than pretty much any of Sting's solo work, I do prefer this version to the original. So that's sort of an interesting thing here. He does it a little bit better than the Police do it. There's only one single released before the album, the opening track, If You Love Somebody, Set Them Free, which was on the radio at the time, along with, I believe, Love is the Seventh Wave and Fortress Around Your Heart, which is also my favorite here. It was between this one and Shadows in the Rain. Both of them are sort of the most upbeat. I feel that Fortress is just a little bit more distinct than any of the stuff on side 1. I have no idea why it's the last track on the album. It's pretty good individually, but most of the tracks here don't fit great with all the other ones. I ranked this album 10th out of Sting's 12 albums, so third from the bottom. I think this album's still decent, but it doesn't have nearly enough variety to be better than most of his later albums. Plus, the flow is all messed up, and you can kind of tell that this is his first album as a solo act. I still like it better than his Christmas album and Songs from the Labyrinth, but I feel like he improves on each album with his first couple, so his second album is placed right above this one. Those two are definitely at the bottom of the rankings for me, but he slowly gets better over time. He didn't really hit his stride until the 90s, in my opinion. So, additionally, it shouldn't really be a surprise that this is not my favorite from 1985. That goes to Talking Heads' Little Creatures, which I definitely like more. Although both of the albums have too many medium-speed pop songs, I think Little Creatures is better put together and generally more interesting in what it sounds like. Talking Heads is a little bit more experimental than Sting. Thank you for watching. Next up is the Power Station's debut self-titled 1985 album called The Power Station. This is another Duran Duran spin-off band like Arcadia, which I reviewed last week, so stay tuned for that. And as always, stay minty.